Father God, we thank you for all your blessings. Father, we thank you for your love, your mercy, and your grace that you give to us. And Father, we've mentioned a lot of people in our community that is sick. And Father, we just pray that you would put your loving arms around them. If it be your will, you will restore their health. Be with us tonight as we discuss the business of the city. Just give us the wisdom that we need. And we pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. We're running just a couple minutes late, but I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting. First thing we need to do is adopt the agenda.
I need to adopt the agenda.
Okay, we'll get Kagan moving to adopt the agenda. I have a second. Fred and everybody in favor? Minutes, last meeting.
There's a change on page 4. It says Laura Smith and Melissa Smith, but it was Mandy Beard.
Okay, I didn't turn it out. Okay. It's Mandy and Laura.
No, it's Mandy and Melissa.
Melissa.
Okay.
Laura was here, but she, I don't think she got up to speak.
So we have that one correction. Anything else? Okay, we have a motion to adopt the minutes from Cinnamon and Kagan. Second. All in favor? Is David not here? Okay. Next on the agenda is the water rates for residential and commercial. I think we made an error that we need to correct because we were going to increase both the residential and commercial, but I think the motion only included residential.
So there were 3 categories.
Yeah.
So we're holding on the industrial while we figure out what's happening with the investment plan.
And we hopefully I will be talking with them shortly.
So if I guess we just amend that motion to include commercial along with residential.
I think that would be
a 3-year term.
All right, so Kagan makes the motion that we include the commercial along with the residential rate increase. As let's see. Yeah, it's 25 cents on the base rate. Is that all right?
There was the reason why we're holding on the industrial. That's where the big hit is.
Yeah.
Everything is
25 cents on the base would be the increase on commercial. 25 cents, not percent. It go from 21.70 to 21.95. Okay. Yeah. Any other discussion on that? Kagan makes that motion. We have a second. Cinnamon seconds. All in favor? And that's everybody there on that one.
Do we have a scheduled meeting with them? Is it scheduled
No,
yet?
called. No, they're called meeting with them.
Okay.
And if we can get them here at any time to the full board if we need to. The engineers and the plant manager also. But we do need to find out how far along they are. Okay. Next item is the aerators. Do we have the?
I do have the bank quotes. I haven't had others yet, but they had David check on what it would be for 4. He said he could get 4 for $48,000, which we were getting.
So it was a $500 discount per free buy.
Yeah.
So,
But I think the original motion, going back looking a minute, was to approve maybe 2.
But yeah, they just said to just see what that would be, and that's what
The question was if the poultry plant was buying at the
Yeah.
same time, if we could bundle, but that's not a very large discount.
No, that's not. And so you have the.
I do have the only 2 banks submitted quotes.
Well, we got some quotes to finance them.
I think we already talked about that.
So if you want to open those quotes.
So this is financing the $25,000.
That's right. The Mechanics Bank for the 2 The loan amount of $25,000 for 4 years, it'd be 2.95%, and for 5 years, it'd be 3.15%. That is Mechanics. And Renaissance and Regions did not submit. Two aerators at a purchase price of $25,000. Pursuant to the bid request, we're offering a loan term of your choice of 4 or 5 years at a rate of 3.56. Bank qualified, secured by tax exempt bonds, or 3.62 non-bank qualified, secured by non-tax exempt bonds. It looks like they're higher on each.
Be higher plus.
They're
or minus.
higher.
2.9 is a great rate.
Yeah. I didn't amortize that, what it would equal monthly, did they put that on?
No,
or
well, they did not send that, but they know it should be amortized.
Yeah,
It should be a lease, amortized
Well, it's not,
lease.
it's a small payment.
yeah.
I made a vote, we will go by.
Okay, we have a motion that we go from, to Mechanics Bank, 4 years,
4 years.
and, Fred makes that motion, Kagan seconds. Any other discussion on that? All right,
So will those payments come out of the,
equipment
It will
fund,
come
the
out of,
equipment fund.
or the sewer equipment fund?
it depends on how much we've got left in our equipment fund and the water's
That's right.
operation and maintenance, but actually some of that moves over, so. Cause that water and sewer equipment fund, that is just money we have transferred into, so probably what we will do, yes, it will be eventually paid out of the equipment, we have to transfer it into that fund from operation and maintenance. Each month to make that, usually theirs is a once a year payment, Mechanics Bank is, so we just put the money in there and have it ready. They can be earning interest at the same time.
Okay, the next item is the covered bids, and, all the bids came back exactly the same, almost word for word.
I mean,
Surprisingly. So what we've done in the past traditionally, since we have bids from 2 different companies, is we accept one proposal for the metal and concrete and one for the plastic. And G&O maybe for the metal and concrete, and Williams Supply for the plastic. Again, it'll be all exact same if we need them.
is there a shipping delivery charge?
No.
so is it, oh, they've got FOB or anything. I think it's included.
So if we need a big long piece for Railroad Street,
Real big. No, we ain't going there, right? I understand now. Okay, so,
This bid is for Pontotoc County.
Could have been
Under
closed.
Williams.
Probably didn't.
And
They're not
for
really getting
CD.
their payments out. I didn't even notice that.
I didn't either. Probably won't be, well, they charge everybody, in the state.
If you can see how they're all generic, they're all the same.
Yeah, they don't want to mark their date and put a different date in on some of them. But we do need a motion to accept maybe G&O Supply, excuse me, for metal and concrete, and Williams Supply for our plastic, if needed. Fred makes that motion, Kagan second. All in favor? Everybody say.
metal and
And
concrete.
concrete.
Okay, next, is Second Chance Arm Alliance Agreement, and,
So our process where we left it was we needed to,
well, we've actually got a situation we probably need to discuss in executive session on that. It's come up since this. And so I think we need to table it until we meet about the situation in executive session.
okay.
I mean,
I'll make a motion to table.
someone makes that motion that we table this until we discuss something in executive session on that. We have a second.
Sure.
It will come out shortly. Okay. All in favor of tabling that?
To move, what's your use?
It's an employee situation.
Okay.
It's not directly second chance, but it has to do with our agreement with them, and it's an employee situation. So. And we will have to handle that in executive session. So,
That's intriguing.
all in favor?
Maybe has something to.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
but I was,
So that's just adding to the executive session agenda.
yeah, we'll have to. And this is, just kind of came up, so, okay. Do you want to just say something, Nancy?
Y'all had asked about a list of city dogs,
Yeah.
and I've got that.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to leave it.
Yeah, if you
now
would,
or-
and because,
We can give it to Vivian.
Yes, and
Yeah,
we'll take care of
yeah.
it, we'll get it taken care of.
thank you. I'm sorry, but yeah.
I apologize for that. We were under the impression that they were being logged in,
I didn't have it.
so,
We're
we'll
gonna
know
work
from
on
here
that.
on
We're gonna
out
work on that.
to send you something as they come in, and however we can agree to
We'll work on that.
keep some kind of record, so.
Is that only current dogs, or
That's
is that all the way
from,
back?
Mr. Larry had asked me for a list, the one that was turned in 2015 that was brought up. He'd asked me for a list for specific dates, and so I just picked up with the date where I ended with him.
That's what I was wanting to
Until
make sure.
present.
Okay, that's good. It's
So-
up there somewhere. There it is.
And in the last meeting, we had talked about
That's right.
billing under the last contract for those dogs.
This,
Was that?
whatever
that's
y'all,
Yeah, that's good.
you know,
Yeah,
it's,
please.
so,
Market check.
just whatever.
How many are on that list?
82. And they had a,
But that's from
they had
like
a top.
Sep,
like
yeah,
so many,
100 dogs a year.
Which,
So-
so since that's just from 3 years, that's not too much.
Yep.
so.
I'll get you
Now,
that.
some of those are mamas with puppies, but I don't think, you know,
Understand.
so.
They feed their own, right?
They do.
Okay.
So, if y'all, is there anything else y'all need
Thanks, yeah.
for tonight?
Vivian will get that
I'll get that
done.
up now.
Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay. The next item is the cable franchise agreement, which I'll ask for a list of the
I think we received-
Schedule A of the, yeah.
Yep, we received that electronically.
Okay, everyone did get that? All right, so are we ready now to vote on the franchise agreement? Okay, need a motion to that effect?
So it's at 5%,
Yes,
Quarterly.
it's supposed to be at 5%.
and then the schedule.
And he put the schedule on there now, so
So I moved that we.
actually identifying the locations.
So we're approving you signing. Is that?
The agreement,
Yeah,
this is correct.
I move that we do that.
Okay, now Katie makes that motion, we have a second. Someone seconds. All in favor? All right, that's unanimous.
They have went up 4% to 5% whether we get back.
Yeah. Yeah, maintain some of our polls a little bit. All right, next is the county fire agreement that we also discussed at the last. Have you had time to think about it?
I called a bunch of folks, that's apparently how we do it.
Yeah. So, we're ready to adopt this now?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you want to make that motion?
I move that we re-engage and update the agreement with the county and accept that $5,000.
Okay, check, because it'll be coming in this fall. All right, we have that motion, we have a second. Someone second? All in favor? That's unanimous. I'll get that signed for reminder. Both of those, the cable also. Okay, auditor's agreement, we'll call on Andy first. TVA has long wanted to have a separate audit on the electric department, and I think y'all have a copy of that. And, it's the service agreement.
basically, like he said, they've been recommending that we, in the past, that we have our own auditor. And anyhow, we've checked with other companies. I have a 30 or 40 something page docket in there. I did not copy the whole thing out. If y'all would like to see it, I'll show you. It gives you all the information to other companies that this company, this man handles, auditor handles, and he comes highly recommended. And I mean, he knows his business. If you look down there on your paperwork, the things, I believe they got the same thing I do this on.
Yeah, I think
You
everybody
can
should have
see
the same
everything that he does, and,
Are we looking at the Chris Mitchell management consultant or the Alexander Thomas?
this is Alexander.
Okay. What's this thing?
Chris is something different.
Okay.
And I actually got put on here for this, so I may have to come back next time on this, because he was not on the docket.
I thought about the same thing, I put it together.
That's okay, that's okay.
We can do it together.
Okay. But that's the Alexander, that's the auditor.
And if I understand that this will come out of the electric department budget.
Yes, nothing to do with the city, it'd be electric department.
So in the past, has the city's audit, which we paid $12,900, included the electric department?
Yes.
They had a little separate book, and they had their own invoice, but it was no separate, but he did both.
So for just the electric department, it will now be $12,900.
Is that the total price right there he gave us?
Right there.
No, that's on, yeah, yeah.
Or I guess it starts at 12 too.
Yeah, yeah.
So a 3-year contract would save us
A little bit.
$7,000 to $1,050. No, $850.
I would recommend, I would think we would need to do it, if you look at the stuff that he does with this thing, because he does some analysis too, to help you out, and to try to do that in 1 year, I would think we, a 3-year,
If you do it 1 year, then you're gonna turn around and probably pay a higher rate to someone else next year. Once they have all their data collected, it makes an audit much easier to deal with. So if you do 1 year at a time, jump around, you're gonna end up paying more, I think, in the long run.
So in the past, has the city paid for the audit function over the electric department?
No,
No,
they've always paid their
separate
own.
They've always paid the portion?
I don't know what y'all paid.
uh, 9,000 or 10,000, something like
On
that.
top of the $12,900 that the city pays?
Right.
Right, yeah.
That'd be an
Okay.
addition.
So it's not a new $12,900?
No, no, just, it comes out two different budgets, so to speak.
Is this something we need to put out for bid?
It's under 50, but two signed,
I know if we're looking for, just an auditor,
yeah.
there's no restriction, to give it, to
This-
give
you actually-
anybody else an opportunity.
This is a service actually
It's a
that you're
service, so if
purchasing,
he's
so I don't
telling
think
us
it
that-
falls under, I think
Right,
something's
so
right
if
there.
you make a recommendation to the board, we don't have to go out and
And bid it.
advertise it.
No.
We don't have to go out and find someone else to compare
Because-
him to. We take that recommendation into consideration at the time, and there's no other laws or rules and regulations that surround that.
Well, I'm making a recommendation, if y'all don't mind.
And so it'll be fresh eyes looking at your books for the first time.
Yes.
$2,000 roughly more,
Yeah.
but it's groundwork.
And this is, we're talking about Alexander, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to be clear on that.
So that's always been a separate fee on
The electric department has, their money's completely
When they
separate,
pay theirs.
and we have to, put our own, like,
Different city.
this. Yeah. So I've got Ronnie Wyndham's agreement here.
Yeah, that will be on the general agreement,
Yeah.
but not the,
Is that covered?
I've moved that we approve this.
okay, so taking a motion, we approve Alexander to be the auditor for the electric department on a 3-year contract, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the proposal, 3-year contract.
They have a price for 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just get a little break of,
But I'd like to
Just
see.
goes,
the-
it goes up every year
do what they can.
on that last.
Yeah, it goes
Yeah,
up
it's a-
400, then it
Yeah.
goes up another 350.
But I'd like to see all the metrics that they put together over 3 years.
Okay.
If you don't have for 3 years. It'll be good to have it.
I'll second that.
Okay.
All right, so a motion, Kagan, second from Cinnamon, that we adopt the auditors, Alexander for the electric
How
department.
did the devil would have been done all that time?
Wyndham has done it,
Yeah.
but they
Ever.
bill them separately than ours. But they've done it all. And again, it's kind of recommendation, correct me if I'm wrong,
TVA.
TVA's recommendation.
They've
to be
made this
separate audit.
recommendation for several years.
And so,
Other entities, for example, the county, it's written into law that you have to change auditors every 3 years. Municipalities are exempt from that, but that's probably what TVA is looking at.
And it's a
You
good
just wanna-
idea
it's-
too.
yes, a great idea.
To get fresh eyes on it,
Absolutely,
so.
yeah.
Okay.
So
I think that's
all in favor, did we vote on that? Yeah, okay.
And what about this Chris Mitchell service agreement?
That is a service agreement. If y'all wanna do it tonight or not, I can come back to the next meeting. He is an analysis. He does everything from rates. He does your graphs, he does all the main meetings. He used to work for TVA. And now he's got his own company and he's doing 40-something utilities in Tennessee and North Mississippi and North Alabama. He's a great asset. He does up to 10-year plans. So, and my big thing is, times are changing and, you know, we come out and take a 2 or 3% increase. That's a pretty big hit on people. Or 5%.
Especially
Well,
if
this
you're
guy comes in and looks at it and you can do, he'll tell you, I mean, he lays it out and you need to stick to the plan, but you can do, just hypothetically do a 1/4% once every 2 years and still accomplish the same goal that you need and stay with your head above water. I talked to him years back about coming and couldn't get approval to get him here. And I don't know what y'all have looked at or some stuff. We need him. Just point blank, we need him because he does lighting schemes, everything through the utility. He's a great asset that we don't have here.
Was that the man that Mr. Davis, who met with?
Bill Dukes.
Bill Dukes.
Yes, that's the
Horrible
man that,
man. Mr. Bill Dukes recommended him, and he's our liaison with TVA, Mr. Dukes is.
When was the last time we had a financial analysis?
we never, no, don't let me say we never had one. We've had them through TVA, but TVA does not, as far as the analysis and the length of time that they go back and go through, and they do not go in depth as far as what Chris will. We had one 3 years ago on our rate structure and stuff, but now he covers everything Chris does.
There's a few things in here that say only if TVA offers options. Do we know if TVA offers options?
He will know, yes, he will know if, what that's gonna probably deal with, Kagan, being a co-op or a municipality, some of that different stuff, but Chris has got all the lingo. I actually got a hold to him Friday and I was very surprised he got this paperwork to me this quick, cause I was afraid I wasn't gonna get it.
Can we find out, because these are some $1,000 swings depending on what the services and can we find out?
Would he be available to come?
Yep, I can get a hold of him and have him come.
I would love to have him come and make a presentation to us and
Okay.
explain all these different lines.
You
and-
wanna schedule just for a
See
board
what's
meeting
available.
or for a private meeting?
It'd have to be a board.
It'd have to be a board
That's
meeting,
what I
because
say, 'cause you have
everybody would
too
have
many
to attend,
people.
and if it works, it has to be a special, we could probably do maybe a special, if it
Right,
had to
if-
be.
if
If
we-
we'd rather,
Want to for March, that was another one.
If he's still in sales mode before we sign this contract, so we don't have to pay him $1,200 to appear. that would be
You'd like to meet him for nothing one
Yeah,
time?
that would be
Not a
really
problem.
That's right.
I'll get a hold of him and set that up.
Our next meeting is March 6th.
I'll get it, see if I can get him here.
and
And I'll
notify Vivi if you
Vivi
can,
and
she'll
she'll
put him
email
on the
y'all and let
agenda.
y'all know.
If not, our next meeting is March 20th.
Yep.
So,
Contact
of
City.
course, that wasn't on the agenda, so we could just,
What I
Yeah,
like the idea.
we'll
We
just,
can
yeah,
just
we'll move this to the
contact.
next agenda, once you get in touch with him.
okay.
All right, thank
All right.
y'all.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm gonna leave this with you. That's something that he left me. That's the one I was talking about, and y'all can look over it some.
The other part of the auditor agreement, of course, was Ronnie Wyndham's proposal to us.
I would like to see if we can, at least for the next 3 years, try new eyes.
Do you have any recommendation?
No, I sent out some requests for just a layperson, anybody interested, but I did that this afternoon.
But,
So do we have a timeline when we have to have that walk? How do you feel about that?
Well, what's it, September
Yeah.
30th?
Because he'll start working on something
Yeah.
before then, you know, because that budget's ended.
So do we have a month to, or a couple weeks?
well, 2 weeks will be our next meeting.
That probably-
But
it's
we
getting
probably,
pretty close, 'cause he's gonna start wanting to gather
yeah.
stuff.
And keep in mind again, what they propose, you know, this may be, quote, cheaper because he's got most of our data already.
But I think if he's been doing it for over 10 years, it'd be a good idea to have someone take a look.
And he knows what the state wants.
Has it been closer to 18 years? Is that the right number? How many years consecutively in a row has he provided this service to the city?
I'd have to look.
Yeah, I would say 8, you know.
Probably longer than that, but I'd have to.
I know
look for sure.
by 8, but I'm not.
I know it's at least-
Well, okay, we'll just table that until till our next meeting.
And I'll take that on. If we don't need to go for bids, I'll just see.
Tell them to give us
Yeah.
a price
Y'all
on
have
that,
to
and
do it,
they
'cause I
know the
know
state
no one else.
requirements and all that too. You know, the deadline that had to be
Leave
met.
that up to y'all.
Okay, the next item is the bylaws revision for the planning commission, and Daniel is sick. So we'll have to postpone that for 2 weeks. I hate to kick it down the road, but no
But the
choice.
planning commission did meet last night.
They did meet last night. We'll get kind of that down the road there too.
Oh, okay. You mean tonight or?
It's number 4.
No, we have a thing on the recommendation that came,
Okay, I see it.
so we'll just table that also. Okay, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
evening, Board and citizens of Water Valley. I'm Sandra Johnson, citizen of Water Valley. I'm here tonight for clarification and some information about 3 concerns that I have. One is the protocol to reserve a public space, public venues here in town, the use of city equipment, and also the downloads of city council sessions. For several years, I have been reserving spaces for public events, community events here in Water Valley. And the protocol was to come with a letter and a date, and the city clerk would confirm if that date was open. Last week, I came to reserve a public venue, and the protocol seemed to have changed. I came with my letter, and I came with the date, and I was told that it had to be approved. And I asked the city clerk by whom, and she said it had to go through the Board of Aldermen and the mayor. And I said, well, when did this change? And so, anyway, she just affirmed that that was the process that I needed to go through. And so I left very flustered because I was trying to make a timely deadline to have that notice to David to be in the Herald. in a timely manner. I was told that I would be called back with the answer from City Hall sometimes after 1 o'clock. I did not receive that call from City Hall, so I went down and talked with Mr. Gray, our mayor. I was received with a warm welcome and with undivided attention. That I do appreciate. However, my question is, what is the new protocol? When did it change, and how can I get a copy of it?
Okay, let's address that. First of all, we couldn't find an old policy on the use. We've searched, we don't have one. We kind of,
This is old, not
yeah,
indexed.
yeah.
Then it looks are not indexed.
We've always said, you know, what churches, civic organizations,
Non-profit.
non-profits could use, but we couldn't find protocol for it. So, but, you know, I did talk with Ms. Johnson and said, you know, go ahead and put it in the paper, you know, your use, that she was wanting the bandstand in the railroad park. And
I think
so I told her just to, you know, go ahead and use it that date, 24th, if I remember right.
That's correct, this
Okay.
Saturday.
Okay, so,
we should probably have a policy.
Yeah.
I received that morning, we received a note saying we had a request.
mhm.
So, and I think everybody emailed back.
Yeah, everybody emailed back, I think, that it would be okay. Because I wanted to touch base, because like I said, we couldn't find a policy.
And I think that's learning steps for us.
Yeah, and for all of us.
We're-
And but that may be
So it's
another
just been
thing we
kind of
need.
It's kind of from way back, we just always stayed with that.
Yeah. So we probably need to, you know, maybe not tonight, but hash out some ideas of how we want to do it and get it in writing as a policy. Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Well, I
We don't
appreciate
have a
it.
policy on
I
that, but we will work on
appreciate
that.
listening, and I'm just sorry that I had to go through those.
That, yeah, and I apologize for that
Yes,
again,
you-
but, you know,
Thank you so much.
we will develop something.
My second concern is the use of city equipment. And it just so happened, and this, I'm bringing this up because of the mandate that's around the table now about cleaning up of resident property. And so my concern is what circumstances determines when and what amount a resident or a business owner is charged for a city pickup for large items or large amounts of garbage. It just so happened that on my way here tonight on Market Street, there's sofa out on the curb, and I questioned it, will this person be charged a fee? Here's the,
Yeah.
you want to circulate that around?
That, they will be charged a fee, because those things have to go to the county dump. So we do charge a fee.
And so I know in the past that there has been free pickup for garbage and so forth, but with the mandate around the table that citizens clean up their property, as we go door to door and talking with people recently, there's a concern. So is there a standard policy with charges, you know, an ordinance of
It's
how
in
much
the
this is gonna
ordinance,
cost? And what determines, I mean, how much will it cost to pick up this one couch? Who is going to be responsible for it? And so forth like that.
Good question.
And so, that's another concern that I have
More than
and
$100
other residents have in the city of Water Valley.
It's addressed in the ordinance, I didn't bring that ordinance.
I didn't know.
I want to say it's capped at $100, you know. But if they need a dumpster or something, then that goes, of course, extra.
So because of the mandate, and I know it's still around the table, and I don't know if it's been issued out to the city publicly yet about what's going on for the city cleanup, but will this be publicized
It
so
was.
that people will have the, you know, be prepared to come out of their pockets if necessary?
A copy of the ordinance was run in December. I think it was December. A copy of the ordinance was run in the paper in December.
Oh, in December?
I
Copies of the December paper.
I,
I have to verify it, but I remember that.
November or December 1, but it was run in the paper.
Okay.
And we've been talking about in that, the cleanup initiative, so I think we all gave 2 test properties to the attorney to start that process, properties that are falling in. So there's a whole process that you have to send official notice to give the property owner 30 days to fix it themselves. So we've initiated that on a few properties. But we had talked about just in the general cleanup, in some, I don't think we have a supervisor in the room, but there was, no, the supervisors.
No.
Oh,
So,
supervisor.
So
County
we had been
supervisor.
talking with the county about having cleanup days where the county would accept drops from the city and waive the fee so that we could collect and not charge the citizens and just have a broadcast today. If you have anything you want to get rid of, put it on the curb. And we're trying to figure out how that would work. But there's efforts to try to take the cost away from the citizens to help clean up the town.
You have twice a year, we put on a cleanup day, that people can clean their property, and we go around and pick it up. But on the other parts, with the city ordinance stuff, each day there's roughly 300 residents that we pick up. We can't take, if a person lives in a rental house or a property owner, cleans their everything out and put it out the street, it is classified as more than your garbage pickup. Your standard garbage pickup is 5 bags of household garbage. Anything above that, then that's a different fee because it still has to, that's more garbage that one person revenue that you can't charge, you can't pick all this up for one little $9, $11 a month. If a renter moves out, their owner comes in and cleans the house out that they're in, it falls back onto the property owner. If you can't get the renter that has put it out, then it's responsibility of the property owner to pay to have it cleaned up. That's including furniture, household, anything that they put out. The city cannot go and pick up everything, and then we're charged for everything that we put into the rubbish dump or to the garbage dump. So the city has to put a small, and the city is very reasonable with their charge to any individual.
What are the 2 dates, Mike, of?
Today, basically, we pick up Monday through Thursday on residential. If it's on garbage, rubbish stuff we pick up on the west side on Tuesday, the east side on Thursday, but it may be picked up on Monday afternoon to start getting our load so that we're picking 2 routes up in one day. But if somebody puts out, a lot of them will call in, but then a lot of them will come out and just pile out on the street. Then the city's somebody got to pick it up. So I go and approach the people myself and work out a reasonable with them what they have, tell them what we can, this is what we can offer, and have no problem with it. We either set up dumpsters for some of it, or nothing else, we set up for a grapple pickup.
So in the case of this sofa, let's say for instance.
Sofa, it's got it set up in there where it's $5 for a sofa. Each sofa is supposed to be $5. They have appliances and stuff, just so much. But what I usually do, if they've got a big pile, I'll be reasonable with the city taxpayer. Look at it instead of looking at $15 charge. You know, you be reasonable. The city is, I have tried to be as reasonable with everybody we can. But when you take a property and you go in and start cleaning the property, you can't pick this up as they clear the whole property off without a charge because there are no city utility or anything going into it. So if a person has a property and go in there and cut all the trees off of it, piled out on the street, that's taken away from the last 10 people down the street with it because he's got more than a normal amount of brush. So it is a charge for us to do that. Because we can't operate with everybody. 300 people, I can't haul 300 loads a day.
That answer that
It
question?
does,
Okay.
it does. And
All right.
thirdly, was the download of the city council sessions. I'd like to know, this part of the city or this gentleman here?
No.
Okay.
I can, so I
And so I was
believe,
wondering how, you know, how soon are they downloaded and what determines, are you keeping all sessions? Because I know that there's a couple of sessions that have, you know, been missed that I haven't found yet.
They're up to date except for the first one
Okay.
in February.
so this gentleman records our meetings and they're broadcast, I can't remember, what's the,
97, 98. On cable.
and then the Water Valley Business Alliance, which was formed several years ago,
2007.
more than several years ago. They started last year asking this gentleman to supply a copy of what gets broadcast,
Mhm.
and they upload it to YouTube.
And they pay for that service, and they are not an entity of the city. They're not affiliated with the city at all.
So it's a-
They are a nonprofit organization, a 506. 501c6. They're a 501, it's not a 3C3, it's a 501c6.
A 3 isn't allowed to participate in any,
Any business or political realm, so they're a C6.
but it is a volunteer group, and so if they're late going up, it's volunteers that have busy lives. But
And if they run out of money in their budget, then they can't pay this gentleman, and they're not going to upload the video. So they take, anybody who wants to be a member can become a member. Your membership dues goes towards that particular item, because that's one of the only things that they make expenditures for. And if you want to donate to them, they'll be glad to earmark that money and get them uploaded faster.
Well, I can say again, going door to door, people are that, we see the empty seats, but they are behind the television watching it, so it is a good service.
There's some of those meetings been watched 700 times, which
That's right,
blows
yeah.
my mind.
So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And-
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Okay,
501c6.
next we have a change order for our water sewer grant. Okay, as Kagan knows for sure, there was some damage done around the post office. They are recommending, we met with engineers, they're going to pre-cast covers, go all in front of the post office and that part they damaged. That way it doesn't stay dug out forever. They'll haul those in, they'll bolt them down for rebar, and they'll seal each joint. All right, of course, that created additional monies, but there's monies that from the backfill, when they're going up railroad, all that extra monies that they had planned to purchase backfill, they don't have to purchase backfill up to there.
Was that because the soil was
The soil was good enough and probably
better than?
better than the sand. Well, engineer says the sand's the best because it's self-packing as long as you contain it.
Well, it's mostly coal dust, isn't it?
Railroad, old railroad, but but it met their packing requirements and all that. So basically, what we need is a change order to swap out monies really from one thing to pay for another.
So they made a mistake
Yeah,
and cut through the top of the storm drain.
right.
And so that's going to cost someone
Grant.
the grant.
Yeah.
But it's a net increase in the cost of the project, $26,000.
Why does the
No,
grant have to
so-
pay for their area?
Well, we kind of asked that question too. As long as there was monies available in the grant, a change order does that rather than going through a claim against a bond or liability carrier.
But not our bond or
No,
liability.
no,
Not
this
ours,
is on
it's
them.
So this is, the grant money is still taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
I
it
don't
was their
agree
mistake.
with any entity paying for their error besides themselves. They're responsible, that's why they
It's
have,
all
that's why they're
grant money.
bonded.
Yeah.
They made an
All
error.
grant money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
grant money
But
is,
that grant money, you paid your taxes, and that's what the grant money is.
grant money belongs to taxpayers. Why,
So
why
who-
should a taxpayer grant fund an error when they're responsible for the damage that they caused or the error that they made?
Have they agreed whose fault it was, who pulled the line on the tape measure?
They did not.
So is that between Willis Engineering and the contractor?
Probably. And I don't know who erred, if it was Willis or if it was the contractor. I think the contractor actually did the measuring and did the cut.
So I'm glad that they are saving $16,000 on infill, but I don't believe that this $10,000 should be paid for with grant money, because it's nobody's fault but theirs.
Okay. Actually, all right, even though it's showing there 10,515, there's a 4,000 in there that is not there. Error that's to relocate a existing water main on north end of Railroad.
So that was a change in the city's needs.
Yes. There was a 12-inch main that dead ends down there around Big Yank that actually wasn't in the engineering or wasn't. Talked to David, he actually didn't know it was there either. So that 4,000 change order is on.
I think we need to repropose this, take this, number 23 out, relocate existing 12-inch water main for the $4,000 unit price, and separate that from the other problem, and resubmit it to us.
I would approve the $4,000, but I wouldn't approve the additional $6,000 to cover the mistake.
I have to pay for my own mistakes. That's why they're licensed and bonded. That's what, you know, they are responsible.
Okay. I'll try to contact Carl. And,
Can we make that without it being resubmitted? Can we verbally approve that, or do we need to wait 2 weeks?
However they want it, yeah, that's fine. I'd rather have it in
this
writing,
came from,
so when it comes back,
this came from the grant of this company, Carl.
we look at.
Carl. Just contact Carl tomorrow, the engineer, and see if that can get the change on the order.
Yeah, so they need.
Pay for the
yeah.
four
They
and,
need a contract change order on item number 20, line item number 23. Resubmit that to us
If
for
they-
approval.
If they get out of that mistake for $6,000, they should be really happy. That was a gigantic mistake.
Is there any way that we can start cleaning up the main street?
Yeah.
All the way down, it's just really dirty, and I haven't seen the streets, no offense, I haven't seen the street sweeper.
I saw it this morning.
Oh, okay.
Well, one of them ran out of brakes today.
One
so-
blowed up this morning, we got it in the shop trying to work.
What
on
about the
it.
new one that we got
The
last
new
year?
one won't pick up that
It won't-
waste.
it won't
It's
sweep
there.
it.
That's the reason why I hadn't been running yet, it just starting to get dry enough and clean.
Okay, like
But
today,
it will not suck up any wet material, that's not what it made.
well, everything's dry that I'm seeing, if you're running south on Main Street, on the right side of the road, all that's dry. Just, it's a lot of sand and some rocks, a lot of dirt.
Once it quits raining enough,
Yeah.
where we can get in there while it's dry and pick it up. I've gone up there this weekend and shovel hose, or fill hose up on the main street.
I saw you.
So, it's as soon
Okay.
And there were some other errors and mistakes made that we addressed. They're gonna go back in. Unfortunately, I have to dig some back out on Church Street. Make a more permanent repair of that water line. And Carl agreed that they would do that. The contractor would take care of that.
Do we have a time frame for repaving and?
Unfortunately, it needs to settle, 6 to 8 weeks. But they're supposed to try to keep it smooth, and of course with the rain, it's impossible right now. But
It's
it
gonna
does
rain again
need
tomorrow and the next
to
day.
totally settle, and needs to make sure we don't have any more leaks, problems, anything that pops up. And then Michael addressed the situation and Carl agreed to it. And they need to come in and make sure they're straight on their cuts to do a good overlay so it's smooth, that it's not, you know, just in that little groove, so to speak, that it comes out and gives us some fringe. Again, engineer agreed that they would do that the contractor would do that. And, okay, so we'll see if we can get that change order changed.
You need to make a motion.
No.
I don't think so, because we just
Needs to be
kind of do
changed.
enough to do it, really. Okay. Jerry Ann, you back there? You don't want to speak to it? Okay. I think y'all got a copy from a very good copy, a couple different things, but the Plan Commission did meet last night, and they made a recommendation that we give the variance to Moonlight Properties for their plans to go forward. So and I think that was sent out by Eddie to everybody today. Or, yeah. So.
Jury and hard copies.
No. Okay.
But I appreciated the interaction with the entire community around the property.
Yeah,
That happened before I came to the planning commission.
Yeah, that was good. So we need a motion to accept the planning commission's recommendation to give the variance. Cinnamon makes that motion. Kagan second. And all in favor? All opposed? Pass 2-1.
Now, what's the time ready before they put it bought the old friend home? They'll get it cleaned up.
Doesn't find out who. Did we find out who purchased it?
I think so.
If you-
Starbucks.
Okay, if you can get us contact for him, we will,
You know the phone number for him?
yeah. If you can get a phone number for him, I will call him myself.
Okay.
Cause you called me today.
I came through there and
They
it looks
work
like
on
they're
that.
cleaning up today. They got a semi-trailer load,
Okay.
trailer up there and it looked like they had already started cleaning some stuff
Look,
up.
he called me. He called me wanting to burn. I said, don't burn.
No way.
No.
But they did call tonight and said they started. He called me on the way to City Hall. They said they started on it tonight.
They good.
But I know they done put some walls down over there.
Okay,
Whatever
good
they
deal.
call it. said.
I think the clock started at our last meeting, we asked
Mhm.
Yeah.
Daniel
That's
to notify
correct.
them.
Right.
So they have 30 days from our last meeting.
So if he started on it, it
Yeah, he
won't
started
take
on it.
long with that. It shouldn't. That's good. I'm glad to get that area
I
cleaned
don't know
up.
if I can discuss this or not, but planning commission, we had an appointed member from Fred White, and he has declined the
Yeah.
position.
So,
I'll find somebody else.
yeah, find somebody else there.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully in another month we can appoint others to get it back and get
Let them know
and get
that
Daniel.
it is a voluntary community service, and
yeah.
it doesn't pay any money.
One other thing that I don't think y'all have a copy of, but Michael told the trailer today. No, he one of their old Army surplus trailers that they haul some heavy equipment on. He thought he could get it welded today, and it was actually split down, and the guy said, you know, it's wasting money. I don't know how old that thing is.
20 years old, bro.
Yeah, at least. So he got us 2 bids, one from Southland for $36.99, and one from Gillen, and Southland is in Batesville. And Gillen Trailer Sales in Grenada for $39.95. And were these pretty identical, Michael? I
Pretty
didn't-
close. I want to go tomorrow and look at them. They both said come look at them. Do some comparative especially with the unions that is a little bit
Okay.
bigger. We just need something for the citywide where we can haul equipment. We can't go out of town. We do anything with what. We can't move the machines from cemetery to cemetery. This trailer we've got particularly now is going to be right at $700 to repair it. And you still got an old trailer with the spindles, a bolt on it. that, you can't get out of town, and we've been very lucky after seeing what happened to the trailer, that it hadn't come loose and run into, cause more damage. It's just time we need to do something. I think we need.
Now, both these signed bids come under the 5,000. We'll entertain a motion to let Mike look at it and
So
take.
moved.
All right, so we got a motion from Fred, second from Kagan, all in
Pick
favor.
the one that meets your needs.
Okay, so,
Thank you.
all right.
Get a scrap price for the old one.
Yeah. we got to scrap,
Well,
get a
we do
price on a
have-
lot of stuff that's
I
scrap,
have
called scrap
some
stuff.
surplus up on the hill of junk,
Mhm.
old truck that we're not even in no more, that I want to take and we can get rid of it and put it towards this, and it won't be that much. We can bring revenue back forward.
Okay, that finishes our regular agenda, but we think we,
I
Oh,
move
okay.
that we consider executive session. Is that right?
that's right, you've gotten good.
Can I ask one question before you do that?
Okay.
Just the report for insurance costs, is that considered a personnel matter?
Yeah, it adds to salary.
Say that again.
It adds to the
Okay,
salary.
but that wouldn't fall under the exemption and this,
Well, actually-
under the personnel clause for an executive session item. Usually that's a specific personnel issue.
Well, it's not just whether the insurance cost and the hiring of full-time fits in the budget.
Okay.
So it's,
a budget, but it's not involving a particular employee then.
it's involving 4 particular employees.
Right.
Yeah, but I'll,
If we make decisions, hiring decisions about this board, this is the consequence.
yeah.
of those
Okay.
decisions.
We
That's
needed,
just a little
yeah,
unusual, that's all.
we needed to know not only the salary that would fit in, if we choose to hire them full-time, it also adds the insurance.
Okay. I understand.
The total package around.
Gotcha.
And currently, these are named current part-time folks.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a
Not
motion
new
from
hires.
Kagan
Gotcha.
to consider if we need to go into executive session. We have a second for that. Okay, gentlemen.